Welcome in everybody to the O'Colly's continued coverage of OSU football and this season that they're having right now. I'm Ryan Novozinsky, joined as always by Sudeep Tumma, my co-host for everything and my beat partner on the OSU football beat. Today we're going to be talking a little bit, something interesting about this OSU football team. Let's talk about this sort of ball control offense that they've been implementing in the past couple of weeks. Obviously, they're really forced, their hand is forced to do that because of how great this defense has been playing, and you can almost rely on that a little bit, as Casey Dunn has said. And the offensive struggles, I wouldn't even call it struggles per se, I'd call it just a little bit of inconsistencies here and there. So how do you think this defense could do in terms of going forward to the season and really maintaining that sort of being the primary unit?
Yeah, this is more of, you talk about struggles, right? Mm-hmm. And it's so hard to pinpoint because it's hard to really call it a struggle per se. It's more of just, this is the approach they're taking, right? You got a true freshman at quarterback. You got a dominant defense. You got a run game that should be one of the best in the country, right? Mm-hmm. LD Brown's definitely helping you there. But yeah, it comes down to the question of, can this defense be that good and continue? And to me, they can, right? You got all the pieces. You got depth. You got veterans. You got a lot of depth and a lot of talent, right?
Yeah.
Just think about the guys up front on the D-line, right? You got talented guys over there. You got Trey Ford, a budding star. Then you got linebackers, two studs, mm-hmm. right? Two of the best linebackers in the Big 12. You got an amazing secondary over there, right? Especially the emergence of Rodarius Williams. You got Trey Sterling, Colby Harville-Peel, who are already studs on the back end. Mm-hmm. You got a defense that, this is where the depth really comes in, right? That when you're playing that ball control kind of approach, you need your defense on there and a lot, right? They need to be making stops, but their longevity also, right? And the advantage you have with a defense that's deep is you can keep rotating guys in and out, right? Especially on the front seven. And I think this defense really accomplishes that.
Yeah, they certainly do, and this is a unit too with Jim Knowles' scheming with that cover zero, with that man coverage. He's able to add all these blitz packages, is able to make it both aggressive, but also he's able to maintain control in the against the pass too. I mean, obviously you saw Rodarius Williams the game. He had 4 pass breakups out of 6 total on the team. One of a very great performance for him, like a career best, I'd say, probably his best game ever. And the fact this season he hasn't left a single yard yet, and he's out there. He's breaking up passes too. He's doing a really darn good job. And the fact of all of this is just, it's so interesting to see. It must be humbling for Jim Knowles to look at this to look at this team that's usually an offensive-minded team, and to have them go ahead and look at this from a defense perspective must be such a great experience for Jim Knowles.
I don't know what Mike Gundy said to Jim Knowles 3 years ago to convince him to come to the Big 12, where defensive coordinators have a hell of a time, right?
Come to die.
Maybe you wanted more of the challenge, right? Mm-hmm. But whatever it is, he's succeeding. He's beating the reputation of the Big 12, right? He's breaking the mark and rechanging the playbook, and he's doing it really well. And he's really learned over his years, right? Yeah. He went from this ultra-aggressive, blitz-heavy guy who just, dialed up blitzes, got a lot of sacks, but an ineffective defense, to now understanding defenses, calling the right plays, being creative with the scheme, and it's really working for OSU.
Definitely, and let's go final verdict here, okay? Let's see. So from the weeks on out, do you think this OSU defense can remain consistent with the play they've had these first 2 games? And do you think that at the end of the year we can see this unit being superior to the offense?
I mean, after 2 weeks, it really looks like it. It's something to see when you play against Texas and OU. But that's not to say they've played McNeese State or something, right? Tulsa's got some serious weapons. They played pretty well. And even just aside from you see the weapons and say, okay, this is the stats at the end of the day, just look at the way OSU is sticking, right? In coverage, run defense, penetration, tackling really well, right? They have all the elements of a great defense. Maybe they will be. It's hard to tell right now.
Right.
Maybe they could end up easily being the best defense in the Big 12, right? It just looks like that, but it's something you want to keep seeing. But it will help that you at least have that offense coming back. Spencer Sanders will come back. This offense was supposed to be the highlight of the team, right? But the fact that you can work that kind of approach with that run game, with how LD Brown's really emerged, I'm sure Chuba will get back on track soon. The O-line's definitely played well despite injuries. And then it's like, is it all going to work? Looks like it.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. And you talk about coverage there for the defense and how great this secondary has been in coverage. And in terms of coverage, we will have you covered all year long with all the OSU football updates. For Ryan Novozinsky, joined as always by Sudeep Tumma. Have a great day.